Welcome guys to the Meet Damien live stream. I am Damien. Today's live stream we're going to quickly talk about Bitcoin, but then we'll try to look at some trade setups here. We got some requests here. I see Lorraine already asking for FHE and gold, and I see Kevin's in the chat and Edible Zombies. Good to see you guys. Let me just catch up on the chat here with TikTok, see if anybody said anything so far. I don't think anyone said anything yet, but all right. So we'll get started here with Bitcoin and what happened with Bitcoin today, and then we'll look at some requests here, and then we'll try to see if we can find some trade setups here. Okay, because I'm looking to try to get into another trade if I can find one. Maybe you guys have one up, you know, a trade that I can copy right now. But let's get into it. Let's get into Bitcoin. Bitcoin trading at 68,609, down slightly today. I'm on the 4-hour chart. And why not? You know, 4-hour chart shows that Bitcoin actually came down to the $67,260 level, which I already marked on the chart here. This was a level that acted as you know, resistance over here, support over here back in on February 6th, and then also acted as resistance. And you can always look left and see why this is an important level, but $67,260 was an important level for us to maintain for support. And we did, and I think we're still making a higher low here and a higher low, so we can still be relatively bullish here on Bitcoin moving forward here. However, if we do climb up to higher prices, there is a 50 moving average above us. This is a green line here at $71,000. And let me see if there's anything here on the daily chart for moving averages. There's another moving average to look out for on the daily chart, and that's this 21 exponential moving average. That's sitting at like $73,800. If we were to climb up to 73K, I think we could get, you know, some sell-off action, some price action to the downside, and get a rejection off of this 21 EMA. All right, so that we shall see if that's going to play into be a factor here later on, and yeah, we'll just have to see. We'll have to see. I think 72, 73K is an area where Bitcoin might need to take a break. Let me just turn the music down just a little bit. Let me see if it's a little bit too loud. I don't know if it's a little bit too loud on your end here, but I'm just gonna turn it down on my end here. All right. Anyways, Bitcoin 72, 73K to the upside, and then 67K could get revisited again, but we already seen that act as support earlier today, so I think it should act as support if we do come down to that level again. Moving on from Bitcoin, we'll take a look at FHE. And we'll take a look at gold for Lorraine here. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look at FHE. The FHE was a crypto that I actually mentioned in my Discord, in the Meet Damien Discord channel here, and it was an asset that, you know, had potential. You know, it showed us what it could do here in January when this thing climbed up as high as what, 37, 38 cents here. Back in you know, the middle of January, and since then it's been sold off and beaten down, sold off and beaten down. However, we have come down to basically the same price that you could have got this thing at in the beginning of January. Okay, so I took this as an interesting support level for FHE, which if it gets defended and we go up to higher prices, then yeah, you can make some money here, right? If I turn the VRVP indicator here real quick, you'll see that we are actually at this point of control, this POC at this blue line. All right, this oh, it kind of readjusted itself. Let me just, yeah, there we go. Okay, that's better. So this blue line, right, should act as support. This is the highest volume. A lot of people bought FHE. They bought it around 0.037 pennies here, and they did most of that buying back here in January and December here, where you can see that, you know, this is a support level. Okay, so this is supposedly a support level where we can game plan and make a long if we want to. If we want to get into a long here, we can game plan to get into a long at like roughly 0.037 pennies. Now it's at 0.041 pennies, so I don't know if you're able to do that, but you can strategically put your stop loss right below 0.037. Let's see what's the lowest we got back here in December. Looks like 0.033. 0.0335. So I mean, if you really want to be conservative with your stop loss, you can put it at 0.0335 or 0.0335 is where I would put the stop loss at. And I don't think you're really risking too much. Now, to the upside, right? If we just game plan this long out real quick here, if you were to get in at 0.041 pennies here, and you put your stop loss at, you know, very conservative at 0.03, what do we say, 335, somewhere in that area. If you're just trying to get back to the 2-day moving average as a risk reward ratio here, if you're trying to get to that 2-day moving average sitting at 0.057 pennies, your risk reward ratio is 2.0. Now, not the greatest risk reward ratio that we ever seen here. I know some traders will still take a 2.0 risk reward ratio as worth them risking their money to try and take the trade, but I was looking at this value area high sitting at about 0.011 pennies there. All right, did I say 0.011? 11 pennies. Okay, 0.111 pennies here. Okay, because if you were to try to target that, then the risk reward ratio becomes very substantial here, where you could be risking only 19% to try and get 168%, and your risk reward ratio is 8.5. That's a hell of a trade to take if you're able to actually capture that potential profit here. Okay, you're not really risking too much to try and get some pretty substantial reward here. All right. However, there are some other levels to look at besides 0.1, besides the 11 penny level. There is down here. There is a high volume node here at 8 pennies, which I believe is still almost doubling your money here. Okay. Almost doubling your money. Okay, never mind using leverage trading. If you did like a 2x, 3x, or I'm doing a 5x leverage long on this one, with 5x leverage, that's almost like 500% gain. Okay, with 2x leverage, that's almost like a 200% gain. Okay, and I am in this trade already with FHE. I got in, I believe did I get in? Yeah, I got in this morning when I saw it get down to like 0.039 pennies. So I got in at 0.039 pennies. I'm up 36% on a 5x leverage long. Okay, so what is that? Like 7? I'm up 7 without the leverage. It would still be up 7%, but with the 5x leverage, that's a 35% gain, 36% gain here. Okay, and I'm only doing about $100 a margin in that trade. So if this plays out, right, I believe I'm targeting just 10 cents. I should probably make it 11 cents. But with me targeting 10 cents on this trade, I'll be able to make about 779% gain with 5x leverage. And I'll be up about 783 bucks using that $100 a margin that I got. Okay. And my stop loss, well, my stop loss was, you know, not that far down, but it's at 0.036 pennies here, 0.0365 pennies. I would lose about 32% if I'm wrong on this trade, and I will only lose about $32. I could probably move my stop loss to break even, but I want to see how far this thing goes, and then I'll probably maybe take partial profit and then move this stop loss to break even, just a little bit past break even, to, like, you know, just to pay off a little bit of the trading fees here on WEEX exchange. Okay. But yeah, I am trading FHE 5x leverage long using WEEX exchange here, which is a cryptocurrency exchange that I am affiliated with, that I like using. That's very easy to sign up. It's all you need is an email address, and if you want to get started with them, you can click the link on my bio here on TikTok, right? My TikTok guys. Well, that's not me. That's somebody else here. Oh, that's not me. Oh, can we get that? Refresh, please. I really hate TikTok sometimes. I mean, I'm sorry, I shouldn't really say hate, because that's a strong word. But sometimes, like, I just want TikTok to work for me, and I click the refresh button, and it doesn't really work. Okay, but anyways, here's the link to join WEEX exchange right here. Okay, if you click the link tree, that link tree link, it'll take you over to the Meet Damien link tree, and then here you can sign up for WEEX or sign up for MEXC, is another exchange that I'm affiliated with that I like using it a lot. I like using MEXC because they have a lot of trading pairs that are free to trade, including like trading gold and silver, which we're going to talk about gold as well. All right, but WEEX, I feel like, is a lot easier to just get started with versus MEXC, because MEXC, if you're not an if you're an American customer or a Canadian customer, then they don't really do business with Americans and Canadians. You would have to use a VPN to skirt around that and actually use MEXC. But you don't have to do that with WEEX here. WEEX, you can just get started with them right away. All you need is an email. They don't do KYC. Or you can use your phone number as well to get started with opening up an account with them. Okay. Anyways, back to FHE. I think, downside target, just put your stop loss right below the lows for today or yesterday, where we're at like 0.037 for yesterday and today. Or you could be more conservative and put your stop loss at like 0.033. And if you get stopped out, you get stopped out. You're wrong. But I think the risk reward ratio is juicy enough where you can take this up to about 8 pennies here, double your money. Or you can take this up to about 10 pennies or 11 pennies here, where you'll make even more than double your money on this asset here. Okay. All right, let's see. We got to move on to some more things here. Lorraine is asking about River. And do we have any more requests besides Lorraine? Because Lorraine's over here dominating with the requests here. Actually, we got Edible Zombies in here. And Edible Zombies says something about a beta token. And he did say, am I paying attention to Ripple's accusations? I don't know. What is going on with Ripple? You tell me. What is the news for the day for Ripple? You got to tell me that. And then let me go ahead and jump back into TikTok here. Let's see. I see Lorraine's also on TikTok as well. Appreciate you coming on here and smashing that like button, Lorraine. All right. Thank you, Nicholas, for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. And we'll move on from FHE. We're going to now take a look at the price of gold. And then I guess we'll take a look at Rivers, see if Rivers worth getting into. All right, so let's move on to the price of gold here. And I can see that the price of gold is currently trading at $4,993. So, Lorraine, the markets are closed for gold. I think there might be XAUT or what's the other one? PAXG might be trading. Those are cryptocurrencies that are tied to the price of gold, but because the markets are closed today for the holidays here in the United States, I'm not sure if I can actually give you the data that you're looking for gold. We would probably have to look at PAXG or XAUT. Let's see if I can find PAXG here. See what PAXG is trading at. Unless you want me to stick to gold. But right now, PAXG is not that far off from the price of gold. It's trading at $5,000.66. And you can see it's actually live trading right now. So it's moving. The numbers are moving up and down here. And I still got the VRVP indicator here, which I think is useful. We do have just looking from data going all the way back to like December of last year. We got a point of control. It looks like a majority of people that have been buying and selling PAXG or gold, they've been doing it at like $5,090. That blue line right there. I would expect that to act as resistance until we're able to punch our way past that. And then you also got a value area high right above the POC at 5,130. So we got some resistance to push past. Once we push past that, I think it might be clear skies, blue skies, clear sailing for PAXG to go up to higher prices here. And we do have a high volume node roughly at 5,300. Could be where we get some more resistance, and then 5,500, which is like close to like the all-time highs, right? We saw all-time highs here on PAXG at 5,645 back here on January 29th. So that's obviously going to be the high to be looking for. I'm sorry, that's going to be a resistance area for sure until we push past that. Okay. But gold, the price of gold and PAXG is very bullish. You're above the 200, the 100, and the 50-day moving average, and you're just holding support near the 21 EMA. This white line, right? This white line that's curving up right here is sitting at $5,015. So right now, that's still gonna act as resistance until we push past it. Okay, and once we push past that, I mean, we still got even more resistance. So there's a lot of resistance levels here for gold, the price of gold and PAXG. There's this, you know, once we get to like, well, 5,000 is a psychological number that we got to get past right now. But once we get past that, there's like 5,090, and then 5,130, and then 5,300, and then 5,500 and all-time highs. Okay, so those are levels that we need to break past. And now, does PAXG have the momentum to continue to break past that? Do we have something going on in the MACD that can make us get a little bit excited here? And right now, the momentum is showing that selling pressure has been dying off, but it's not enough to start going into buying pressure. We don't have the buying pressure yet to push past gold, and I think that's reflective of the fact that we're at $5,000 gold. There's some people who are hesitant to buy gold at $5,000. They don't know if gold's going to actually go up to like 5,300 or the all-time high of 5,600. So I think we're seeing a little bit of shyness here from the price of gold. Okay, we don't have the momentum to push us up to those higher prices yet. Let's look at the market cipher B indicator. Market cipher B shows that money flow is in the green. You need to see that in order for price of gold to go up to higher prices, and it is curving up. So I think money flow looks fine. You know, we'll just see how, you know, gold acts going into tomorrow and later on this week. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see if the money flow is going to continue increasing here and giving us, you know, higher prices here. Now, we did get a red sell dot here on Saturday here. Okay, so that's a little ominous warning here that maybe the sellers might try to take over here and bring us down to lower prices. And if they do bring us down to lower prices, what is levels to the downside? Levels to the downside, just looking at VRVP, there's 4,930, and then there's also 4,850. Could be levels to the downside to look out for. And then, of course, I think what makes a lot of sense is we got the value area low, this white line here, sitting at 4,500, and we also got the 50-day moving average, this green line here. They're pretty much right on the button on top of each other. I think 4,500 is going to be an area where people get excited to buy gold again. So that would be, I think, the support area that we're looking for gold if it does drop down the lower prices here. All right, moving on from gold, let's see if we can look at something else besides gold and FHE. Edible Zombies talking about XRP. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at XRP. Sure enough, let's do it. XRP on Coinbase? Sure. Why not? Let me get rid of the VRVP. I can always turn it on later. XRP currently trading at $1.48. Slightly up today. And XRP was in this descending channel for like the longest time here. Going back to like the middle of January. Making lower highs and of course lower lows, but more lower highs and lower lows, and just trending downward until, like, I don't know, Bitcoin started catching the bids and going up to 70K, and then you know, XRP went up in sympathy with Bitcoin, and we had a couple of good days here where, you know, XRP went up like 3% here on Friday, and then another 7% here on Saturday, Valentine's Day. And then what? It actually caused some good bids here on Sunday. However, we ended up we went past this white line, the 21 EMA. That could have acted as resistance, but we pushed past it, but we weren't able to stay above it on Sunday. And now we actually closed below it. So this is actually almost like a shooting star candle here, which is a price reversal candle. That's not good to see. All right, that's really, really not good to see here. However, we are holding up here. We're not really getting follow through to the downside. All right, but there's a possibility that there could be follow through to the downside on XRP. Like, this is an ominous candle. You do not want to see this. This usually pushes the price down. And we kind of did go down lower today at $1.44. But we're actually getting a green candle. We're actually up slightly today on XRP. So this is interesting and also confusing at the same time. Let me get rid of this thing right here. Let's see. Do we have momentum to go up to higher prices here for XRP? Let's look at the MACD, and then we'll look at the market cipher B indicator. You did get a MACD crossover to the upside, which is really great to see, especially on the daily time frame, which is one of the long-term time frames. Selling pressure was dying down, and then you started getting buy pressure showing up here. That showed up here on Saturday. So XRP is doing what it needs to do to go to higher prices here. Just looking at the MACD indicator, okay? And then let's see what market cipher B is showing here on XRP. You did get a green buy dot here on Friday, February 16th. Was that 2 Fridays ago? Momentum has been going up to the upside. And then the money flow, although it's been in negative, and it's been in negative since the middle of January, money flow is starting to increase here, and it's starting to curve up to the upside here. And this started happening around like Friday and Saturday. We started seeing money going into XRP here. So XRP looks like it wants to go to high prices. And if it does want to go to high prices, we got to get past this 21 EMA, this white line here at $1.53. And then maybe we try to make it up to this 50-day moving average at $1.94, which we haven't done. We haven't gone up to the 50-day moving average, this green line, since January 5th. So maybe we might get one last hoorah here, where XRP goes up to $1.94, and then I would definitely think about taking some profits and de-risking and taking, you know, some of my bags of XRP off the table here, because we don't know if we're gonna get rejected again like we did in January. We seen this where we pumped up, we got rejected, and we never been able to go back up to the 50-day moving average. All right, at least not in the last month or two. Okay. So I think, you know, if we do pump up to that green line, I would take some profit. Take a little bit off the table. And if you're inclined to buy back in again, maybe you could buy back in again at this white line here, sitting at $1.53. So if we pump past $1.53, we go to $1.94, maybe take some profit at $1.94, and then buy back in again at $1.50 or even lower, because we've seen XRP go lower than that. We've seen XRP go as low as $1.11 back here on Friday, February 6th. So maybe you know, we pump up, you sell here, you buy back in at $1.50, you buy back in again at $1.11. Either or maybe both. That's what I would be doing here if I was trying to play XRP here. I see Dizzle has joined. Thank you, Dizzle, for joining the TikTok live stream here. And let me see what else. Yeah, I mean, that's just XRP. Lorraine says XAUT is the one that she uses when she's tracking the price of gold. So that's good. Yeah, that's another one that I could have put on the charts, but I just decided to type in PAXG because I know I always look at PAXG. But XAUT is another good one to trade. That's a cryptocurrency that tracks the price of gold. All right. TikTok's not showing me love here today. I'm only got like what, three or four people here on TikTok. Is there something wrong? Let me just check my volume here, make sure that the volume is not an issue. No, that should not be. My headphones are not accidentally connected like I've done in the past before. I guess because I did not start at my normal live time, my normal live stream time. You know, TikTok is like punishing me for not starting the live stream like I normally did. I was busy earlier today, you know, getting some paint because I gotta paint an apartment that I own. I got a 3-bedroom apartment that is up for rent right now. Looking for a new tenant, and I figured I paint the apartment before someone moves in there. So I got that to do today, as well as some rental car stuff today, and I just wasn't able to start my live stream like I normally do at 4 p.m. Lorraine says she has me on her big screen TV watching me on YouTube. That's awesome. Thank you, Lorraine, for showing your support here. I mean, I might make this a relatively shorter live stream. I don't know, maybe because I put like we're live trading here. People want to see live trading, and I'm not live trading right now. So let's get into the live trades here, right? Lorraine did say, you know, we could look at River. And do you want to look at River for a long or a short, Lorraine? I mean, I'd be more interested in entering a long right now on River. River was doing really good up until January 26th. This thing got as high as $88.77. And then it's been red. Ooh, really bad week here towards the last week of January, going the first week of February. Don't really have that much for movement averages besides the 50 and the 21 EMA. Looks like the 50 was trying to act as support here. We got above the 50 here a few days ago on last Thursday. Didn't really hit the 21 EMA, but I think, you know, if we were to continue up, the 21 EMA would have pushed us back down again. You kind of see that, right? I mean, we kind of like front ran it where we didn't actually come up to the 21 EMA before we got rejected here. I wonder if there's a Fibonacci level there too. There probably is one. But let me get rid of some of this previous chart work here. I think what I'll do is I'll just turn on the VRVP indicator. Why not? Because that's like real world data showing us the buys and sells here. We got the VRVP indicator here off to the right showing us the green is the people that were buying and the red or magenta is people that were selling. And it looks like on River, a good majority of people actually bought River at lower prices. They bought it at like $3.46. So a lot of people are still in profit on this. Well, a lot of the early investors are in profit on this asset here. But it looks like we do have a high volume node here at $12.90. You see this, you know, got a good amount of buying and selling going on here. And you also see that even if you weren't using the VRVP indicator, you can kind of see that here by just looking left here and seeing that there was some candle body closes around like about $14.90 here, and yeah, 11. All right, yeah, 11.90. All right, yeah, so not 14.90, but 11.90. Yeah, 11.90 keeps sticking out on the charts here. So why don't I go ahead and not mark that in there, because that seems to be an important price I'm paying attention to here. 11.90. Can I get it to say 11.90? Sure. Well, I'll just keep it at 12 bucks. Whatever. 11.90 or 12 bucks is an important area for River. If we were to lose this, then we could come on down to lower prices where we don't have that much support at all. Because look, I mean, you got this gap up, you got this like this candle that just like gapped up on you here, and there wasn't much support at around, you know, anything below 12 bucks here. You don't get much support until you come down to the point of control sitting at $3.20. Let me go ahead and mark that off on the chart here. Oh no, was my computer was acting slow there for a second. So I'm just gonna mark down on the chart here. Okay, so 317 is an area to also pay attention to. Let me just zoom out some more. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that as is for now. All right, so now I'm interested. Is River gonna continue going down to low prices, or are we actually gonna start going up? And I gotta look at the momentum indicators to figure out what that might look like here for River. Are we gonna go up or down? Looks like River on the MACD indicator here. Okay, the selling pressure has been dying off, and it looks like we were just. I mean, if we were to continue the trend, we were supposed to get some buying pressure showing up this weekend, but it didn't show up. So it looks like River wants to go up to higher prices. It's just not getting the punch through to go up to higher prices right now. Okay. And then looking at Market Cipher B indicator. Market Cipher B was showing that money flow was in the negative here. And then money flow was starting to come up. And we got a little bit of green showing up the last couple of days here. So I think River wants to go up to higher prices. So I wouldn't be interested in shorting it. And yeah, I wouldn't really be interested in shorting it, especially when we're at support. You know, we're at support near $12. But like, how far could we take this up to higher prices here? I mean, one idea is that we might come up to the 21 EMA, this white line, and then get rejected. So maybe first take profit could be like $21.84, which is where that 21 EMA is at. So maybe I can mark that on the chart here, 21.80, or basically 22 bucks maybe. So I could long here and take profit at 21.80. Okay. Okay. Do we have anything else that we can look for above us? There's a candle body close here, and a candle body opening and candle body close roughly at like $60. That's another idea for like taking profit at $60 level here. And let me see, does a VRVP indicator show anything over in that area? Not really. There's really nothing here. We weren't really at $60 for too long here. But I mean, going from 20 to 60, that's a 3x. Actually, we're at $13 here, so going from 13 to 60, that's basically like a 4x on River. So you know what? I think realistically for day trading, I think we should be targeting $21 here for River for a long. But maybe we can keep a little bit in, maybe like 10 or 20% of our position, and see if we can ride it up to 60 bucks here. Right? We call that like leaving a runner in, and maybe we can just run this thing up to 60 bucks here. All right, so let's actually, I'm going to take a long here on River. I'm actually going to get into a River here, Lorraine. But before I do that, let me just, you know, game plan this out here. Make sure things make sense here. Let me get rid of the VRVP indicator for now. And I actually just want to take this up to like to $21. So I'm going to try to be a little bit realistic on this, but I will leave a little bit in just in case we run up to 60 bucks here. And where would I put the stop loss? Stop loss is probably going to be below these candle wicks here. Let's see, I got the lowest candle wick here at 11.56. So I think that's where I should put the stop loss here. Is like 11.50. I'm risking about 13% on this trade. So I'm probably not going to do too much leverage on this. And I'm going to see if I can take this to $21. We're basically going to try to target that 21 EMA. Okay, $21.84. And the risk-reward ratio is 4.6. And that's actually pretty good, Lorraine. Any decent trade is going to get you like a 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio. So having 4.6, that checks that box off. That's actually even better than a 3-to-1. A 4-to-1 is even better. Okay, so I like this for a potential long already. Okay, but let's see. You know, I'll probably maybe throw like $100 of margin into this, and I want to at least double my money. So it says that, you know, with no leverage, I could get like 63% out of this potential move here. I think a 2x leverage would be good on this one. 2x leverage would put me at 126% for if this thing does go up to 21 bucks. And then my stop loss would be about 13 times 2 would be about 26%. So I might lose 26 bucks on my stop loss. And you'll see that when I go into WEEX exchange here and I actually put that in the trade here. But let's see, if we were to just do 2x leverage and we were to keep this thing in till we get to 60 bucks, right? This is where it gets a little juicy, right? All right, so if we can take this up to 60 bucks here on River, then the risk reward ratio is 25.63 here, risking 13% to try and get 353%. Oh, and I just got a notification that my FHE long is actually up 50% right now. So let's go over to WEEX exchange. We're going to be targeting $21.80. We're going to be doing a stop loss at 11. What do we say? Let me just double check. 11.50, I believe. Yeah, 11.50 is where we're going to put the stop loss for the River long. Let's get into WEEX exchange here. So guys, this is where I trade some of my cryptocurrency futures trading on WEEX exchange here. And right now, I am up 56% on FHE. Okay, so I'm making money. But I'm going to see if I can try to make some money with River instead. I'm only doing a 5x leverage long here on FHE. I think for River, I'm going to do 2x leverage here. I don't know, maybe I might do 3x. But let's type in River here. So this is where you can find these cryptocurrencies and trade their perpetual futures. This one we're looking for is River. And that, I believe that's the River that we're looking for, trading at $12.86. Right, let me just double check. Yeah, 13 bucks on this exchange, and this one's at $12.87. Oh, so it's a little bit cheaper here on this exchange. We might be getting a better deal here, guys. All right, and then now I'm going to be looking for just 2x leverage on this one. Yeah, nothing too crazy. So we're just doing 2x leverage long here. And I'm going to try to put about $100 of margin if I can. So the cost basis is about 112 bucks. So that's about 100 bucks roughly. And then take profit. I mean, we were going to try 60 bucks, right? That'd be nice. If I can get to 60 bucks, I'll be up 730%. And I'll make 800 bucks with my $100 of margin. But really, I think we were targeting 2180, right? 2180. Right, because that was like 2186 is where I think this could go next, or possibly could go next. So 2180, my ROI, my return on investment would be up 130%. That's a double, and my profit would be about $153. So you know, I'll turn $112 of margin into $153 of profit. That's fine by me. And then stop loss, we were gonna say what? Stop loss was what? 1150. Okay. So let's just see what that shows here. 1150. I'll lose about $24 being wrong on that, and I'm okay with that. You know, losing $20 is, I mean, it hurts to lose $20, but it's not really that much in the grand scheme of things for just one trade here. So I'm okay with losing $24. So all I'm doing, guys, is just doing a 2x leverage long on river, and I'll go ahead and open that long. We're doing a limit order. Oh, I got. I want to get in now. So let's see. 12.85 will be the. Oh wait a minute. Yeah, now it's jumping up on me. 12.88. How about that? Can I get in on that? Confirm. All right. So let's see. Am I gonna get hit with this? Hasn't gone in yet. I probably should have done it as a market order, but I had it as limit. I didn't want to change things up here, but I'm pretty sure with this thing bouncing up and down, it's eventually going to hit and fill me. Yep, there I go. I got filled, right? Okay, so I got filled on the river long. I got in at $12.88, and the you know, the stop loss is at 11.50, and the take profits at $21. So. Let me just double check that. Actually, I'll put it right here. Take profit 2180. And then stop loss 1150. So I only lose about $23 for being wrong. Okay, and I'm okay with that. That's cool. I'm cool with that. So there you go, guys. You just saw me get into a leverage long here using WEEX exchange. Okay. And if you guys want to start using WEEX, right? For my TikTok guys, you know, and my YouTube guys, you gotta go into the link tree, the Meet Damien link tree, and I'm just gonna show here on TikTok. TikTok, there's that link tree link right there. It'll take you over to my link tree, and then you know, you just click on Join Secure Trading on WEEX exchange, and you can start trading on WEEX. Okay. Sign up and you know, get the referral bonus for you signing up. So that's like another way of helping me out on this channel here, and I appreciate you guys if you do that. I mean, I appreciate all you guys, but if you want to do trading on WEEX exchange, then yeah, that's definitely another way to help me out. And for my YouTube guys, you know, the link tree should be in the channel here, the description to the channel. If you go to the Meet Damien YouTube channel, click on the description, and there's that link tree link right there. And I also got the link if you want to get straight to WEEX. There's another link right here. That's the link for WEEX. Make sure you're using the XVDP VIP code here, so you can take advantage of the bonuses that are exclusive to the Meet Damien community. All right, but yeah, that's how you can get started trading River here using WEEX. Let's see, we got Abe in the chat here. Says, what's the bias for Bitcoin? Yeah, we'll take a look at Bitcoin one more time here. Looking at the MACD indicator for the momentum, right? You know, what's the trend here? The trend has been Bitcoin selling pressure was dying off, and we're going up to higher prices here. And we got buying pressure coming in, and you got a MACD crossover to the upside. So that MACD crossover to the upside, that happened here on Saturday, going into Sunday. So that was really good to see. That's why we saw Bitcoin go up to like 70K, 71K, I believe, earlier this weekend. And I think the bias is for Bitcoin to go to higher prices, believe it or not. Like, I know we were bearish the last couple of weeks here, but things have changed a little bit here on Bitcoin, where it's showing the momentum is to the upside. You got a green buy dot here that came in on Friday on the market cipher B indicator here. Momentum is going up, and then money flow is creeping up as well. If money flow keeps creeping up, yeah, you're for sure going to see higher prices here for Bitcoin. And I already said, you know, higher prices for Bitcoin, we could see, you know, 73K come into play here, which is where that 21 EMA is at. Okay. But if it gets really good and juicy, maybe we come up to 84,500, which is a level that I marked off on the charts here. And if I just zoom out a little bit and get some more data here, I'm going to get the VRVP indicator fired up here. You can see that there's some high volume here, roughly at 84,500, but a lot of the volume for Bitcoin is at 87,500. If we get up to that level, I mean, that'd be really nice to see, but I would expect a lot of resistance at 87,500 for Bitcoin. I know it seems pretty far off to say that with Bitcoin being at 68K, right? That's almost like 20 grand away from us. But yeah, if we go up another 20 grand here on Bitcoin, there's going to be a lot of selling going on, and I believe, you know, whoever got trapped at 87K, whoever thought they were buying the dip at 87K, I mean, they might want to de-risk a little bit and take some off the table here at 87K just to break even. I see we got Rich Sandborough in the chat. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but he says his name is also known as Sir Naptime. Good to see you, Sir Naptime. Let's see. Yeah, we're looking at Bitcoin one more time here. I am cautiously optimistic on the price of Bitcoin right now, only because of what I saw here on the MACD crossover on the daily time frame, which is a pretty significant time frame. That MACD crossover to the upside leads me to believe that there should be some buying pressure, which has already showed up here the last 2 days. Here, Sunday and Monday, we saw some buying pressure showing up here on the MACD indicator. If that continues, we'll see Bitcoin go to high prices. We'll see Bitcoin in the 70s and then the 80s maybe. Okay, for 80K Bitcoin. Right, so I am leaning towards longing crypto and buying Bitcoin and crypto because I've seen what I need to see on the charts. I see that the MACD crossover to the upside. You know, we're getting buying pressure showing up here on the daily time frame. And then also market cipher B, you know, you're getting money flow, right? Money flow is creeping up to the upside, and then you got your green buy dots here and the momentum going up to the upside. We've already been oversold on Bitcoin. It says that, you know, Bitcoin kind of bottomed out here on Friday, February 6th. You literally got this thing saying bottom here on Bitcoin, okay? So I think we can expect Bitcoin to go up to higher prices, but we just don't know, right? There could be something that goes on in the Middle East. Like, we're paying attention to like what's going on with Iran and in America right now, because there could be something that pops off, and maybe that puts a scare in the markets. And even though we get a MACD crossover to the upside here on the daily time frame, you know, we could see, you know, this blue line that just crossed the orange to the upside. It could come back down, and then you get a MACD crossover to the downside, and then you see selling pressure start showing up again. So like, nothing's guaranteed, but the trend is good. The trend says that we should see higher prices for Bitcoin. Okay, we might get a good end of February here. Even though February started off pretty bad, we might actually see some good stuff here for crypto towards the end of February. And that's just what I'm seeing here on the charts here. Okay, I'm just doing this based off the charts. But let's see what, you know, what could be in store for Bitcoin later on tonight, going into tomorrow. This is where I like to get into the 1 hour time frame, which is like my day trading time frame that I like to start off with. Okay, on the 1 hour time frame, let me get rid of the VRVP indicator for now. But on the 1 hour time frame, all right, yeah, Bitcoin got up as high on Sunday to almost like 71K here on Coinbase Exchange. We got to like 70,941. Then we came down, and then we made a lower high here, and then we came down. And if this ends up being another lower high, then maybe Bitcoin does not want to go up to higher prices, at least not later on tonight going into tomorrow. We got to start making higher highs again here. like we were doing this weekend. This was look really good to see here on this weekend where we got, you know, nice little impulse up move above the 200 moving average, and then we made a high here, and then another high, and what went wrong, right? We were doing very nice over the weekend, and then boom, like Sunday, I think Sunday night, yeah, we didn't do so hot, and then Monday morning, you know, earlier this morning, we got up to like 70K, and that was looking fine and dandy, and we were on our way up to higher prices, but not really. So we need to start going up to higher prices, or else the people that bought here, right, they're not gonna be happy the fact that they're in the red, and they might just decide to sell and not you know, and not get stuck with Bitcoin going to lower prices on them. All right, but let's look at the momentum here. Momentum indicators here on the 1 hour time frame. The MACD, it's kind of like all over the place. I mean, yeah, selling pressure on Sunday dying off here, and then buying pressure showing up here on Monday morning, early in the morning, and then out of nowhere, like, what, did Wall Street dump on us? Is that what happened here? I think that's what it's showing right here, is Wall Street dumped on us this morning. But then Wall Street's not open though. Today's President's Day, so that's not, I can't even blame Wall Street for that. Maybe there might have been, I don't know, Europe and the banks in Europe and Asia decided to sell off on us. I have no idea. But selling pressure came in usually when Wall Street opens up, and Wall Street's not even open today. So yeah, I don't know. Selling pressure came in, and now we got buying pressure coming back in again. So this is like wishy-washy price action. I don't really like it. It's not really giving me a good trend here. The trend was supposedly going up to higher prices, and then it kind of just went wishy-washy on us here. What is things showing here on Market Cipher B indicator? Market Cipher B, money flow was looking pretty good here in the Sunday, and then Monday morning, you know, we had green buying pressure, and then the red sell dot came out of nowhere, took it down, momentum went down, and money flow went down. But now you got a green buy dot that showed up here 3 p.m. Eastern time. So maybe Bitcoin does want to go up. I'm going to put it like this. I think later on tonight, Bitcoin maybe wants to go up. Maybe. Just from what I'm seeing. It looks like it wants to go up to higher prices, but we'll see. We need some follow through here. We need some follow through. What is Rich saying here on YouTube? All the liquidity to the downside has been taken, but there's a lot to the upside. I think we'd go up if nothing to get that. I haven't looked at CoinGlass. Lately, it's been tough to look at CoinGlass on the computer, Rich. They're now trying to get people to sign up to their website. And, I mean, I haven't done that yet, but I use the CoinGlass app on my phone, and they're not asking me to sign up on the CoinGlass app on my phone. Let's see. Rich says it was a sweep to grab liquidity before it went back up, in your opinion? Okay. And then Abe says, is using the Fu Manchu market high, would that be good enough? I don't know what Fu Manchu is. Is that a crypto, or is that an indicator? I have no idea what Fu Manchu is. Denver says, should you buy now or wait? What are you trying to buy? And whatever I tell you is not financial advice. Just keep that in mind. All right, you have to make that decision on your own. But I think crypto wants to go up, not down. In the medium to long term. In the short term, we might still go down a little bit lower. But if we do, you know, maybe you can buy later on tonight at lower prices here for Bitcoin. But we were just trying to figure that out right now. It looks like Bitcoin does want to go up to higher prices here. But man, I do not want to make another lower high. We need to get past this high here at $70,000. We need to go to $70,000. We need to do that later on tonight or tomorrow, or else this is going to be another lower high on the 1 hour chart here. Abe said it's a Fu Manchu is a clone of Market Cipher B. It's a cipher on TV, and then Rich says I need to check the Discord. All right, I'll go ahead and check the Discord. Did you guys put that in the general chat here? Oh, you put the liquidity here on on the Meet Damien Discord server. All right, thank you, Rich. All right, so what are we looking at here? Okay, I see. Looks like, well, this is where the price is at, 68K. There's a little bit of liquidity. I'm not sure what the level it is, it's not showing me, but there's a little bit of liquidity, I think, below us. Some more liquidity below us. And then you're talking about the liquidity above us. There's something here. It looks like there's something here at like 77, 78K. You see that? Like 77, so it's above 75. So anywhere between 75 and 80K, there's liquidity there. But then also I see some liquidity here between 70 and 75. So I think, yeah, I think we do want to go to higher prices. All right, there's liquidity to the upside to be taken here if that's what they want to do here. Looks like there's liquidity here. We'll just say that's 72K, and then liquidity here at 78K. Let me go back to the charts here, to the daily time frame. So I do believe on the daily time frame that Bitcoin could come up to like 73K, maybe even 74K, and get rejected off this 21 EMA. There should be a reaction here at 73K. But then 78K is kind of like almost like where we were at here in the beginning of February. We were at like 79K, 78K, yeah, 78, 79. This is like where the price action was at for Bitcoin in the beginning of February. So there's probably some short sellers that put their stop losses right above these candlewick highs here, and that's showing up here on the liquidity heat map on, you know, that Sir Naptime was able to put up here on here. But you can see that, yeah, there's some liquidity here. I believe at 77, 78K. And then, of course, there's some liquidity here at 72, 73K. So I think that the short sellers are putting their stop losses there, and we could go up to 73K, take them out, and then maybe make our way up to like 78K and take out the liquidity there. Rich says there's a lot the whole way up. The liquidity to the left of price has been taken. And Abe said that Wu Manchu, oh, is Market Cipher B by Wu Manchu, it's free. Okay. So the Market Cipher B indicator that I use, let me just show you here. On my favorites, I use Market Cipher B by Welo Trades. But I think there is a Market Cipher B by Wu Man. Well, there's one by Falcon Coin. Man, it's not really showing up here. Oh, there's one by Jesse. I remember Jesse talking about making a Market Cipher B indicator. Looks like that one's showing up here too. But I don't see one by Wu Manchu. Yeah, it's not really popping up here. Maybe if I just make that one word. No, it's not really. Let's check out the one by Jesse here. See what that looks like. Oh, he has the yellow Market Cipher B indicator here. Hey, what is going on here? Make my chart all messy. Alright, yeah, so this is the one. I know I've seen Jesse show up on the chat too, and he put up a Market Cipher B indicator. This is interesting. I'm not quite familiar with it. I'm looking at it for the first time just now. But I'm pretty sure he has a description as to how to use this indicator. And I could also ask Jesse, like, hey, yeah, I mean, what are we looking at? What is this green stuff? What is this red stuff? But yeah, for now, I'm just going to stick to the Market Cipher B indicator that I always use, that I'm familiar with. And that's the one by Welo Trades. Alright, let's see what you guys are saying here on TikTok. Lorene says she went into a trade on River at 1288. Okay, Lorene's just doing copy trading with Damien, huh? Just copying whatever trades I get into. Remember, with River, I only did 2x leverage. Nothing too crazy there. Tony, thank you for following me here on TikTok. Denver says Bitcoin. Yep, we are looking at Bitcoin right now. The Real Digital Buddha says we should buy a long. And the Real Digital Buddha says that's buy and sell pressure in the form of a wave. It's kind of meant to be felt. Hadi says short or long. Man, that's just like the laziest thing a trader could ever say is like, should I short or long? Are you a day trader? Because I can't just be like, all right, yeah, we're going long and short right now. Right? We got to find out the trade setup. We got to figure out what is our entry, what is our stop loss, and what is our profit. And when you come in here just asking for like, oh, are we long or short? It's like, I could tell you we can long or shorts on them, but it might not be the best setup. It might not be the greatest trade. And if you get stopped out, you're gonna get mad at me for saying, hey, he said long, and I got stopped out. Yeah, probably because it was not a good setup. I am longing FHE and River. I don't know if you guys want to copy trade me. But I have a 2x leverage long here on River. I got in at $12.88. Take profits at $21.80. Stop losses at $11.50. I'm only using 2x leverage on that trade right there. And then right now I'm also in an FHE long. I don't know if you're going to be able to get in the price that I got in at 0.039 pennies here. Okay. But yeah, I'm up like 51% on the 5x leverage long on that one. And my take profit stop loss. My stop loss is at 0.036 pennies for the 5x leverage long. And my take profit, I'm targeting 10 pennies, but I could probably get 11 pennies out of that one. Alright. Abe says, type this in, Vumin, Chi, Cypher B, Divergence. You want me to type that into the indicators here on TradingView? I'll type it in right now. Literally what you said. Vu Manchu. Oh, okay. I think I see it right now. Vu Manchu, Cypher B, and divergences. Okay. So I think this is the indicator you want me to look at, right? Vu Manchu, Cypher B. Alright. Looks familiar to like what I've done in the past. I can see the green buy dots, the red sell dots. I believe this red stuff is money flow is in the red and money flow in the green here. So I'm a little bit familiar with what I'm seeing right here. I see, oh, is that the divergence there? Some bearish divergence maybe? Bullish divergences with these green lines here. Alright. How about this? I'll add it to my favorites. And then I'll look at it later. Wu Manchu. Can I add it to the favorites? Yes, I can. But I'll take a look at that on my own free time here. Let's get back to looking at the Bitcoin here. Lorraine says should be shorting FHE now. Why? Why do we want to short FHE? Why are you interested in shorting it? So this is the cryptocurrency that I tried to long earlier this morning here, guys. FHE currently trading at 4 cents roughly, 0.042 pennies. And I know there's a lot of support here at 4 pennies and 3.5 pennies here. And I think if this thing starts curving back up, you know, just curving back up is causing it to go to higher prices here. But if this thing is able to curve back up, go to higher prices here, I can see, you know, we could take some profit at like 5 or 6 cents here. But I think you probably take some more profit near the 21 EMA at 9.098 pennies, which is almost 10 cents. And then I think there was like another level here. We were trying to target 11 cents because if I turn the VRVP indicator, you'll see there should be some volume there, high volume nodes there. No? I'm not even sure why are we targeting 11 cents? I'm pretty sure that there was a high volume node. I see a high volume node here, definitely at 10 cents. Maybe I had it zoomed out a little bit further and then I got the... No, Why did I have 11 cents here? Now I'm trying to figure out. Alright, so 11 cents was a 0.382 Fibonacci here. 11.5 cents. And then we got some candlewick lows here at 11, 11.3, 11.6, 11, 11.5. So I think, yeah, 11.5 cents, you could probably still target that if you want to. Or take profit. But, you know, going from like 4 cents to what? 10 cents? That's more than double. I think you can get a double out of this asset here. That's why I'm interested in getting into FHE here at these low prices that I perceive. And then you put your stop loss really tight. And if you really want to keep it really, really tight here on FHE, you can put the stop loss right below the candlewick lows here at 0.037. Or if you want to be really conservative with the stop loss, you can put it below the lows here, back here in December, where this thing didn't get lower than 0.0334 and 0.0335. So you can probably put your stop loss at 0.0335 and you'll be good. But Lorene says something about shorting it now. Let me go look at the 1 hour time frame. Well, we're kind of like in an area of balance here on FHE. We are coming up against the 21 and the 50 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. Maybe that's why Lorene wants to short it. But I mean, if you're going to short it, what are you going to take the short down to? Where's your take profit on your short? The prices that we were at earlier this morning. Maybe, I don't know if shorting is a good idea. I mean, you could try to short it. Maybe do a head short against your long here. But I would just be looking at, if we do get a dip, it's just a buying opportunity for a long. Let me turn on the VRVP and see what it's showing here. So just using data off the 1 hour time frame here, you see we got support here at 4 cents. So I don't think this FHE is going to go lower than 4 cents. If it does, maybe it comes down to the value area low here at 0.039 pennies here, which we know has acted as support here, support here, support, support. So 0.039. If that's what you want to do, you want to short now, and I mean, let's see, if you're going to game plan this right now, you're going to short right now and come down to 0.039. You get like 7% on your short. Stop loss above that candlewick high here. You risk 4% to try and get 7%, but look at that. Risk reward ratio is 1.69. What are you going to do with a short? You can't really make money on a short here. You have to put your stop loss really tight so it makes it the risk reward ratio a little bit better. Let's see what it looks like on a 15-minute time frame. Yeah, I don't know if you really want to short, but I'll probably look for a long if we dip below to lower prices here. I wouldn't be looking for a short though. You're not gonna really get much out of a short. Monster Raw says, "Yo, Damien, can you see XRP? How about XRP? We looked at XRP earlier, but I'll look at it again for you. You were looking at the 5-minute, is what you were looking at, Lorene? Okay." And the Real Digital Buddha says, "Bitcoin still have to close that fair value gap at around 70K, then it's going to shoot back down." Oh my god, that would suck. Lorraine says, "You found one last week that you went in on and benefit, so of course it's copy Damien time." Okay. Alright, so I copied you and now you copied me. Is that what you're doing, Lorraine? Alright, let's see. We gotta look at XRP from my buddy here. He's asking about XRP. And I think, you know, after XRP, I'll look at Bitcoin one more time, and that's going to be it for this live stream. So, XRP currently trading at $1.48. $1.48. Alright. I already talked about in previous live streams from last week that, you know, XRP could come up to this white line, this 21 EMA, and get rejected. And it didn't, it went up to the 21 EMA and actually went past that here on Sunday. But then we closed below the 21 EMA. So the 21 EMA still causing some problems here for XRP, and that's sitting at like $1.55, $1.53. If XRP is able to push past $1.53, then we go like, all right, we're getting a little bit more bullish here on XRP. And then the next moving average to get above is going to be this 50-day at the $1.94. I think $1.94 is where you should take profit on your XRP. You know to sell everything, but I think it might make sense to sell something here, because if XRP does go to the $1.94 and then gets rejected, comes right back down to the white line here at $1.53. Well, I mean, you made some profit here, and you can buy back in again lower at $1.53. Okay. Levels to the downside for XRP is going to be down here to $1.11 one more time. If we come down to $1.11, that is an area that is of interest here, mainly because we came down there on Friday, February 6th. But also, if I zoom out and I pull up that VRVP indicator here, there is a high volume node here at $1.11. $1.11. And then you can see there's also some sideways trading action back here in November of 2024. Where we were trading at $1.11. So I think $1.11 is your downside target for XRP, for sure. That's an area where you could take profit on a short if you're shorting XRP, or maybe buy some cheaper XRP if you're interested in buying some spot bags. I would try to look for $1.11. If we do come down there one more time, that'd be an area to try to load up the truck on XRP. Rich Sandberg says, Golden Pocket. He said, if your take profit is at 11.5 cents, that's the 618. 11.5 cents. Are you talking about for FHE? I think that's what you were talking about. Going back to FHE. I had my Golden Pocket here at 16 cents. And I was pulling off for like 24 cents as the top here. But where are you pulling your fib from, Rich? You pulling it from where to where? So I was pulling it from like 3.5 cents all the way up to like 24 cents here, 24.5 cents, which was like the top here on January 20th. You're talking about going from recent high to recent low? So I would have to adjust this to the high here at 38 cents. And are you talking about, I got a 0.236 here that shows 11.5 cents. I think 11.5 cents keeps showing up on the charts here. It shows up here as a candlewick low here at on January 26th, and then also here on January 22nd, 11.5 cents. All right, so Rich is thinking that 11.5 cents is where we could get rejected here. I think I had this, take profit here, 11.3. But let me just readjust this to 11.5 to remind myself. And then also, I'm going to put a line here at that 11.5 cent level to remind myself this is where you should be taking profit. I'll even put it as TP to remind myself. Take profit at 11.5 cents. Yeah, I might decide to front run it myself. I have actually my take profit at 10 cents. I don't even know if we're gonna get up to 11.3 or 11.5 here. I'll still make a good amount of money if we go up to like 10 cents on FHE. Joni P says, you're late, but are we now in a bear market? We've been in a bear market. I've been saying bear market ever since like November of last year. I know Bitcoin topped out at 126K and in the beginning of October, but there was still a possibility that Bitcoin could, let me go back to Bitcoin, right? There was still a possibility that Bitcoin could just make a higher low and then go up to make higher highs again. But let's see. I've been saying bear market since November. I mean, that's Rich. Rich knows I've been saying bear market. We've had some arguments and disagreements in the past. But yeah, 126K was where Bitcoin topped out here on October 6th. And you know, I still gave Bitcoin the benefit of the doubt as long as it stayed below the stayed above the 200-day moving average, this red line. Okay, this 200-day simple moving average was sitting at like 106, 107K. And yeah, we dipped below it here on October 17th, but then we came back above it. We were playing around with it. But it wasn't until we actually lost it for good here, and that was like November 3rd. Okay, November 3rd, we had this red candle that took us below the 200-day moving average, this red line here. And this is where I was like, uh-oh, this is bad. Okay, and then the next day was another bad day for Bitcoin as well, where we got as low as like 98K, and that was when Bitcoin lost 100K, and I was like, all right, this is not good. Okay, and then we tried to like, you know, do a little bit of a relief rally, but it still wasn't good enough. We got rejected off the 21 EMA. We didn't even make it back up to the 200-day moving average. And when I saw this, you know, this is the middle of November, and I was like, yeah, this is definitely looking pretty bearish. Okay, and for sure, then we definitely found out later on in November that it was a bear market for Bitcoin. So, you know, Bitcoin's been in a bear market. This is all bear market right here. And then we had a little bit of a relief rally going into like the end of December, going into January. Okay, we got up to like 97K. We got rejected off the 50-day moving average, this green line here. This is where I was like, this is not looking good, guys. All right, we're making another lower high. I was already on like lower high watch. I was already like watching out to see if like, are we gonna go to lower prices here on Bitcoin after making a lower high? And yeah, that's what we did. We made a lower high. We made a lower high, and we're coming down some more. And yeah, for sure. I mean, when Bitcoin dropped to 60K, I think this is when the bulls who were still bullish on Bitcoin, they were like, yeah, I think we're in a bear market, guys. Because that was when Bitcoin was down like 50% from its all-time high. So, you know, we're still, what? I think we're down 40% from our all-time high. Let me just measure that out real quick. How far down are we from all-time highs? How much of a percentage drop are we from all-time highs? I measured from 126,200, I believe was the price of Bitcoin in October, down to 68,500. Yeah, we're down 45% from all-time highs, so I would still call that a bear market. And the traditional markets, if you're down 20% from all-time highs, they call that a bear market. Or if you're like down 20% from the highs of the year, so sometimes it's not always going to be the all-time high, right? You could be in a different year and it could still be bullish, but if you're down 20% from the highs from the year, then they call that a bear market. And cryptocurrencies are a little bit different. I think some people have a definition of being down 30% from all-time highs as a bear market, or being down 30% from the highs for the year is considered a bear market in crypto. Well, guess what? 45%, that is qualifying for bear market. Yeah, we're down 40%, not 30%. Not 20%, not 30%, we're down 40%, 45% right now. That's a bear market for Bitcoin. Okay. And you know it's a bear market because every time we try to like make a bullish, you know, setup here, we try to like do relief rallies here, we get knocked down. We get knocked down. All right. We got to get above the 50-day moving average right now, in my opinion, to be more bullish on Bitcoin. 50-day moving average sitting at 87,300, which is very interesting because that's at an area of a lot of sideways price action at 87,500. I think if Bitcoin was to climb up to 87,500, if we're lucky enough to get a relief rally that takes us up to that price, I'm expecting a lot of selling to occur at 87K, at 87,500. All right, so that is a target to the upside. But then right now, just near term wise, 21 EMA is going to be a problem until it's no longer a problem. 21 EMA is sitting at 17,800. I think when we get to 17,800, we could get rejected off of there. Okay, so we might go up another $4,000 or $5,000 from where we are right now, and then Bitcoin ends up, you know, getting rejected off the 21 EMA. Okay, on the daily time frame. Rich says probably going to go down another 42%. That, I mean, that would just be normal in Bitcoin world. And if that happens, then you definitely know for sure that we're in a bear market. And I think if we do, that might even be the bear market low. So just zooming out some more, guys. If this bear market continues to persist, and if we continue going to lower prices here to Bitcoin, I have marked on the chart here 51,900 as an area where I think Bitcoin could come down to and maybe get some support. And not just looking left here, that was an area where we were trading at sideways here back in February of 2024. Okay, but there's even more support for Bitcoin at 43K, which was where we were trading at here in December of 2023 going into January of 2024. 43K is, I think that could be the bear market low for Bitcoin, and that might happen later on this year. I'm not saying it's going to happen this month or next month. It might, but I think 43K is where we're looking for a bear market low. This is where I would be interested in buying Bitcoin myself at $43,000. $68,000 still not good enough for me. 50K, okay, now we're talking. 43K, all right. Let's put an order in for 43K. That's how interested I am in buying Bitcoin. When we get to 43K is when I would like to buy some. One Tap Chili, thank you for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. And let me just catch up on the chat. I'm about to end the live stream here soon, guys. But don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't done so already. And for my TikTok guys, all you gotta do is double tap the screen. We got 11,000 likes here on TikTok. I'm pretty sure half of that was from Lorraine. Appreciate you, Lorraine, for that. But yeah, let me just catch up on the chat, see what you guys are saying here. Gat2 Sphere says we will have a relief rally coming very soon. Take advantage of it for a 204x. You said we entered the bear market when we lost 75K. Yeah, I think we entered the bear market before that, but definitely 75K didn't. Losing that didn't help either. For altcoins, I think bear market for altcoins started after Donald Trump created Trump coin and Melania coin. I think that's when the bear market started for altcoins. I think Bitcoin was still in its own bull market, but the altcoins, their bear market started in January of last year, January of 2025, in my opinion, just from what I've seen on the charts here. Bacon Jan says, do I leverage trade? Yes, I do, Bacon Jan. I was actually trading here on WEEX exchange. Let me go ahead and just click the refresh button here. But I was in an FHE long, and I got into a river long here on the trade on the live stream here. You can see that yeah, I'm in a 5x leverage long here for FHE, and I'm in a just a 2x leverage long here on river. And I think I could take river up to like 21 bucks right now. I got in at 12.88 and it's trading at 12.66, 69. So yeah, this is where I do my day trading at for the most part. WEEX, and I also do some trading on MEXC as well. I don't know if I showed you guys here MEXC. I do have an account here with MEXC. If it's gonna load up, are you gonna load up on me, MEXC? We're still thinking about this. We're not too sure. Let me click the refresh button here on this one. Come on, MEXC. This is not the time to not while I'm live streaming here. All right, but yeah, I could trade Bitcoin here on MEXC as well. They got gold and silver futures, which you could trade for free on MEXC. But WEEX is also doing it for free as well. All right. And if you guys want to start day trading using these exchanges that I'm using, then you got to go over to the Meet Damien link tree here. And here you can sign up for WEEX, or you can sign up for MEXC. And then also you can come join the Meet Damien Discord server, which is free to join. You click on that link, it'll take you over to the Meet Damien Discord, and that's a way to stay in touch with me when I'm not live streaming and find out what trades I'm getting into. When you go and click that link here and you join the Meet Damien Discord, then you should be able to see when I go live here. I put my live streams here as well, the announcements for my live streams, and then we talk about all kinds of things here. We talk about Donald Trump. We talk about trades that we're getting into. I told everybody earlier this afternoon, I said FHE for a long, guys. It's an interesting area above, if it can hold above 0.037 pennies here. But then, you know, we also have our trade setups here. We talk about trades that we can get into here. Well, there's Cameron bragging about the trades that he got into. Usually we talk about like take profits, stop losses, and entries here on the trade setup portion of this channel here. And then DGen channel is a good channel to get into if you're trying to figure out what coins to get into and that are like out of the top 100. Like I talked about here, I said I think FHE was a good one to get into. Lorraine actually copy trade me. She did a little bit more leverage than me, and she was able to make some money here on FHE, but she was up, you know, 94% on a 25x leverage. And yeah, she got in with that with me here on for a copy trade. So this is the DGen channel here, where we talk about cryptocurrencies that are in the outside of the top 100. But if you're gonna talk about a top 100 coin, like if you can talk about Ethereum or XRP, then we usually don't talk about that on the DGen channel unless you're doing at least 100x leverage on it. Then we'll be like, all right, that sounds pretty degenerate to me. You can talk about that on the DGen channel here. And then also we also got some memes here. So if you guys want to share your memes and share some laughs here, you know, how many of us thought, you know, $90,000 was the dip to be buying? 80, then 70k, but how many of you actually bought that 60k dip, not knowing that that was the 60k, that 60k was the real dip? I didn't, but I still think Bitcoin can go lower than 60k too, so I'm not really too worried about that. But you know, we do post up some funny stuff here on the memes here, and of course, when you actually make some money, don't be afraid to show your gains here. We got to show your gains here on the Meet Damien Discord, where Cameron loves to brag about his 100x short here on Ethereum, up 300% on that one, and he did a 75x short on Solana. Cameron just loves to spam the channel here with his gains here. But Taz actually did pretty good here. He had almost an 80x long here on Pepe, up 360%. So there are some traders here that are making some money besides Cameron and myself. We got some other traders here that are posting up their gains there. Okay, but yeah, there's Taz on a 4x long on Co-AI, which was pretty popular back in October of last year. But I guess there's some money to be made with Co-AI. He got in at 32 cents and got out at 41 cents. So congratulations to Taz on that one. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for this live stream. I'm going to go ahead and turn the music up, and I'm going to be on the way out. And if you guys want to continue the conversation, don't forget to join the Meet Damien Discord server, where you can stay in touch with me when I'm not live, okay? And I appreciate you, Ava Medina, for putting in that link there on YouTube. Thank you for that. And I don't know if Lorraine, if she could put the link here on TikTok, but yeah, for my TikTok guys, all you got to do is go over to my bio here, click on the link tree, and then, you know, link tree will take you over here, and you can join the Meet Damien Discord server here. Same thing for my YouTube guys. If you go into the description to the channel here, you should see the link tree right there. But I think I also did I post up? Yeah, I got the Discord link there posted up as well. If you want to just skip right to it and go right to Discord. Okay. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for today. Appreciate you guys coming out. It was good seeing Sir Nap Time Rich coming into the channel. I haven't seen you in a while, but good to see you come in onto the live stream. I think probably because I went a little bit later on the live stream. I know you have to work most days, but I appreciate you coming into the live stream. I appreciate all you guys coming into the live stream. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the Discord, where we can keep the conversation going and try to figure out, you know, what's the next coin we can make some money on. All right? Until then, I will see you guys tomorrow. We'll try to do a normal live stream if I can at 4. I might have to do a live stream at 5 p.m. again. So maybe like 5 to 7 again. I got a lot of work to do. I gotta do some painting at one of my houses that I own. I gotta paint a 3-bedroom apartment. So I'll be doing that Tuesday and Wednesday. So yeah, I'm gonna try to go live tomorrow. Maybe 4 p.m. but most likely I'll start at 5 p.m. and we'll try to do another 2-hour live stream, okay? Well, until then, good luck trading on investing. Good luck trading and investing in whatever asset you decide to get into, guys. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow.